Hello, and welcome along to the stream tonight. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Just getting a few things set up. So if I could get a thumbs up from someone in the chat room, just that everything's coming through as expected, that would be good. I can hear you. Thank you very much, Maurice. I appreciate it. How's everyone doing? Better late than never, hopefully. How's everyone doing tonight? Have we been surviving? I don't know. Are you guys still locked down? I don't know. Are you still under official lockdown, or you're allowed out and about now, aren't you? Here in Scotland, we're allowed out a little bit more than we were before, but still under some restrictions. But things are starting to lighten up here. But anyway, am I coming through a little bit? Is my camera a little bit fuzzy? Maybe that's maybe a little better. Maurice, we are allowed to do a little bit more starting to. Oh, that's good. That's good. No lockdown, some restrictions, but very few. Well, glad to hear that you're both doing well. And I saw a tweet from Manfred, who's currently busy working on the Chocolatey moderation queue, so that's great. I don't actually know what the moderation queue is sitting at currently, but we should go and have a look, see how much work Manfred's got ahead of him tonight. I didn't do any moderation over the weekend, so I don't know the current state of it. It's taking a little while to come up, so that's not a good sign. Let's just wait and see. Did I spell it right? I thought I did. Chocolatey.org. Do we get a woohoo if Manfred gets to 0? We will get a woohoo indeed, with enthusiasm if he gets it done. And Arthur's in the chat room as well. Hello, Arthur. How are you doing? How are you doing at night? So he's currently 51 in the submitted state. So he's got a few that he can work through. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But anyway, tonight's stream, the aim of tonight's stream is to publish a new version of the Chocolatey extension for Azure DevOps. Now, I'm going to be honest, right? I haven't published an Azure DevOps extension in a little while, and I'm not sure how this is going to go, but we're going to try, right? And if I get stuck, then who knows, right? Who knows? But the reason that I want to push out a new version is because, so over here, if we do a search over here for Chocolatey, then what we'll see is that there's a new one over here from a friend of the Chocolatey community, David Gartner. Now, the reason that David created this one, which was, he says he is heavily inspired from the Chocolatey Azure DevOps extension, was to handle the case where you need to install Chocolatey. Now, if you're running in Azure with a hosted build agent, you don't need to install Chocolatey because Chocolatey is already installed on the base image that's used in Azure DevOps. Now, if you are running on a self-hosted build agent or within Azure DevOps server, then chances are Chocolatey isn't installed. So David had created this issue because he obviously needed that. Now, what I pointed out to him was that one of the open issues that I had for this extension was to include the ability to install Chocolatey. So there was I'd opened this eons ago, long time ago. And I said to David, well, how about rather than creating another task to do that one thing, how about we combine the work that you've done and add it into the existing Chocolatey extension for Azure DevOps. So that would mean that this one would then have parity between the two other ones that were already existing. Now, the reason that I created this one in favor of these other two was because it simply put they weren't being maintained anymore. I had reached out and tried to speak to both the extension authors, and I never got any response back. So I created the chocolatey one, and then when David created this one, I saw it. Well, David tweeted me to tell me he'd done it. I suggested that we bring it into this one. So David did the work. He created a pull request, so you can see that here. This extension should now have two tasks contained within it, and that task should then be available once we publish it. Now, it's really the publishing side of things that I am ever so slightly concerned about. Mainly because I haven't done it in so long. I don't actually know whether the build script for doing the publishing cycle actually works anymore. So we're going to give it a try, and we are going to attempt that tonight. And if we get it all working, then what we're going to do is we're going to do what I've mentioned here in this issue. So one of the things I found out by some of the reports from the Cake extension for Azure DevOps is that it's not actually possible to pin to a non 1.0 release version of an extension. So this is me in Azure DevOps. I've got a pipeline here, and I have the existing Chocolatey extension installed within my organization. What I want to be able to do is I want to be able to pin to a specific version of the task so that I know that nothing's going to change if a new version gets published. And unfortunately, it's not possible to pin on a minor or a patch version. You can only pin on a major version. So currently, we are releasing 0.20 of this Chocolatey extension. So over here, it tells us that the current version is 0.20. So my intention tonight is to release a 0.30 version of the extension, make sure that everything's working the way we expect it to, and we have that additional task that does the installation. And if all of that goes well, I want to then do another quick release, which is to release a 1.0 version of the extension so that folks can pin that. And then if we make any breaking changes or we whatever, we're not going to break anyone when we push out new versions. So that's kind of the idea. And I believe I'm in a position to immediately attempt the release of 0.30. So I'm just going to go and try it. Unless Arthur, who I know who has done work on Azure DevOps more recently than I think I have, if you've got any words of wisdom, feel free to shout out, and we can have a look at any of those suggestions. But failing that, I'm gonna plow on, I think, and I'm gonna try and release a 0.30. So I'll keep an eye out in the chat room to see if Arthur's got any words of wisdom. Otherwise, I am gonna go ahead. Now, the reason that these are modified was because I ran the build locally, and currently the build updates the JSON files with the current version number. So Kim's saying, I guess that when would be one of the few. I guess then that would be one of the few stable projects you work on. Agreed. Very few of the projects that I work on are past 1.0. No, you're right, Kim. So this will be a first, right? Although we are discussing it in the Cake team, and we are discussing having a 1.0 release. If you see me playing with my ears, by the way, I've switched away from the big ear headphones to my AirPods, mainly because it's getting a little bit warmer now, and these are kind of heating up my ears a little bit when I'm wearing them for a long time. So I'm trying the AirPods tonight, but I keep feeling that they're falling out. So if you see me playing with them, that's what that is. It depends if you call kept 13 stable. I've been called lots of things, Maurice. I don't know if stable's ever been one of them, but we'll see. I could call myself a stable genius, but that's maybe, I don't know if you'll get that reference. So let's go ahead and reset those 3 files, and I'm going to do a git checkout -b release 030 from the develop branch. Right? I'm going to try and force them into my ears. For me, the audio and your webcam feed are... See, someone said that was happening last week as well. But I'm certainly not seeing the issues that I was seeing before with regard to dropped frames, etc. But no, Adil mentioned that he was seeing that last week as well. It goes out of sync sometimes as well, but not all of the time. So I'm not seeing anything on my end that is indicating that there's a problem. So if you could keep an eye on that and let me know if that's causing a big issue. I mean, I'm still debating whether doing everything on my Mac is a good idea or not. I have pretty much everything working the way I want it to now, but I am concerned that I'm overloading it a little bit. But last week you were mostly out of sync the majority of the time. And that's even more bizarre. What Kim said in the chat room there. Last week you were mostly out of sync the majority of the time. Rob was in sync though. So I was bringing Rob into the stream via Skype, via an NDI input and output into OBS to then plump him on the top of the input window. So if anyone should have been out of sync, it should have been Rob, but not me. Is it a region? CDN issue, Aura.NET Dev? It could be. I mean, where are you checking that? Is that? Are you saying CDN issue looked fine in Scotland? Is that a Twitch CDN that you're referring to there? Because I mean, these are the kind of things with Twitch, and I've never looked into. So I don't know if it's good, bad, and different. I genuinely don't know. But anyway, what was I doing? I was going to run the build again here, just to make sure that it is updating to the 030 version number. Let's try that first. Everything's in sync now and it has been for a few minutes. Okay, so if it becomes an issue, let me know, and I will check through the OBS settings, etc., and see if there's anything obvious going awry. But let's check to see what that did. So that has updated the extension version to 030, which is what we want. 030 and 030. So it's done what we wanted there. So now we can try doing a build target release notes, and let's see if we can generate a set of release notes for... Ew, that's annoying. I must not have the most recent Bootstrapper files on this machine. Just based on some issues with Zoom, Teams, can't remember which I saw the other week. Is it a thing on Twitch? Is it a thing on Twitch? I won't have that version number. So, sorry, I was getting distracted by the build failure. There's my ring getting dropped again. Apologies for that. just based on some issues with Zoom, Teams, can't remember which I saw the other week. Is it a thing on Twitch? I mean, there could be issues with Twitch. There certainly was, not last week, the week before. We were seeing very high percentage of drop frames, and it turned out to be a Twitch issue, which resolved after a period of time. So I'm not aware of any issues from my side. I mean, things look good in terms of the internet connection I have, and the drop frames percentage in OBS doesn't indicate a problem. So I know, I'm sorry, Maurice. I don't know where my fidget cube is. Oh, it's over there. Doesn't matter. I'll stop playing with my ring. The reason that failed is because I don't have an environment variable set up for running the release notes for this project. So I'm going to set that up. So I'm going to put the Twitch background up so that I can do that without giving the game away. So give me just a minute and I will get that done. So off we go. Hello, I'm back again. So that didn't work. Why did that not work? Oh, hold on. So I put in what I thought was the correct token, but it's obviously not. So bear with me 1 second while I have a check of something. I saw the message from Maurice. Thank you very much for doing that. Those translations for Chocolatey GUI, very much appreciated. So what did this do? I'm just checking something here. Indeed, that doesn't look like it's the right one. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to click save. I want to go be right back. 1 more second. And I did that, Maurice. I actually closed the shell before I came back. So I'm going to go be right back a second more and then see if I can get this working. So talk amongst yourselves again. Thanks. Hello again. So I think that's worked this time. So it's amazing what you can do when you put in the right password into things. So if we go up to Chocolatey Azure DevOps and we look at releases, and in theory, we should have a new one. Yes. Okay. Move array from array list. I don't remember doing that one. When did we do that one? Oh, that was a long time ago. That was an old issue that was appended to the 030 release. You could have done that with... I could have. Yes, I could have. But I personally prefer putting everything into a cake script. So that's... Now I could put that cake script into a GitHub Actions as well. But this is my preference. Everyone has different ways of doing things. And the fact that you are using Git Release Manager and Git version in GitHub Actions is great. But I still prefer to do it this way. So if I now do this, so if I do git checkout master, git merge, no ff, the release branch, git push upstream, and git push origin. Let's see what that does. So let's open up app there, ci.appbear.com. Norwegian for Chocolatey GUI is also completed, also accepted a few people as requested. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you very much for doing that. I had seen that there were some folks who had asked to join, but I hadn't got round to doing that. So if we go up to Chocolate Community and look at Azure DevOps, things should be building, and things should be building off the master branch, which they are. So we're running that. Let's see if this succeeds. There isn't much in the way of documentation yet for this extension, but there is a publishing of a YAM site. So it'll be good to test to see, oh, that might fail because that same token is used. But documentation is here. So there's very little here, but that's fine. So I need to do this. I need to grab this. Let's put that into here. Save that again. So that failure there is okay. Kind of okay, because I think it'll be picked up in the next release. And too many redirect or authentication replay. So that's fine. Okay. So everything's being created with the right version numbers, I think. So the v6 has been created with 030, which is what we want. Now what we want to happen is we want that to be published to as part of the next release. So I am going to try it. What's the worst that could happen? So I'm going to go ahead and edit this release, and I'm going to say publish. I can't review my own strings. There is only one translator for the Norwegian language. Would need someone else to review them. Marisa said I can review and translate my own strings, or rather, I can review them, but it would defeat the purpose of reviewing strings. There's currently no other Dutch translator. We would need someone who speaks Klingon and wants to... That did actually get created, didn't it? Or have I got that wrong? Klingon is an available language that you can translate into, but I'm not sure if we want that. I'll be honest. I had a feeling it was. Display all languages. Brilliant. We're doing not too bad actually. That's a good chunk of translations happening in there. I'll maybe have to prod some folks for some of the missing ones. But anyway, let's see what's happening here. Oh, I heard some weird things happening in my ear. Can everyone still hear me? I hope so. Still says I'm going out. Now it should get past the, thank you Kim, it should get past the YAM publish this time. So let's wait and see if that works. Oh, no, that should be fine. Let's see, I should put this down. I'm going to get my fidget cube while we're waiting for this build. Publish documentation. Oh, so here's it. Didn't work. Or is that just 401 not authorized? That's ever so slightly annoying. Authentication using username and password has been deprecated. Okay, so that one's expected. That one I knew about, but we should capture that while I remember. So issues, new issue, switch to using token for GRM rather than username, password. All of that come out. I'm going to assign that to myself. I'm going to make that build, and let's not assign that yet. So the build failed because what's it saying here? Checking if this extension is already published. It isn't. Create a new extension. No, hold on. I don't want to create a new extension. I wanted to I didn't want to create a new one. Why did it do that? Because that should have worked. Let's just check over here that it hasn't. No. Okay. So on my machine over here, let's do a little test. So let's do cd into this repository. So cd into Chocolatey, cd into Chocolatey Azure DevOps, fetch upstream. I know you can't see what I'm up to, but got to go. Not a problem at all. Thank you very much for dropping by. Aura.net dev. I appreciate you coming by. You might just find that I'm still trying to do this later if you come back. Git rebase upstream develop. Git checkout master. Git checkout track. Origin master. Git rebase upstream master. Okay. Push origin. So the question becomes, if I do a build again here, and actually what options do I have when it comes to changing things? I can unpublish. Okay. So if I take this thing, I want to download that. I want to show in folder. I want to copy this guy. And I want to put it over here where you can't see it. I am sorry for that. But if we then attempt to run the same command that was being run here, I want to try it locally and see if I get the same thing. So the command that's being run is, it's running tfx, right? So it is tfx. Beautiful. So tfx extension publish --v6 get 13 v6. Really? Is that happening for you as well, Kim? Or is it just me? Is it just Marie, sorry? Auth type pat -- token taken token, and you're okay again. Very strange. Yeah, it might just be fluctuations in Twitch, so, or it could be fluctuations in my internet obviously as well. Paste. True. What does that mean from Manfred? --401 unauthorized. Has anyone published anyone in the chat room? I know Arthur's there, or if Arthur's still around. What permissions do I need to give to this token that I'm creating to make it work? Because the one that I've created isn't working. I thought all that I would need would be marketplace publish. Yeah, so marketplace. In the marketplace, I have. So what I have is, for the Get 13 organization, I've got a expiration for a year, and I have selected marketplace and publish, and that's it. Do I need any other permissions in there, Arthur? There's 4 there. There's read, acquire, publish, and manage. And the only one I've given is publish. Now it did say something about the publisher having to match, but I don't think any of that's changed. So in my VSS extension manifest, the publisher is still me. Should that be... So, which O are you referring to there? Sorry, let's make sure that we're talking about the same thing. The O, this one here. So that's different. So that's in the GitHub publish. The one that we're worrying about just now is the extension. So at the minute, the extension in the marketplace is still under my Get 13. It's not easy to move those. So although we've moved the repository into the Chocolatey community organization, the extension itself in the marketplace still lives under my publisher ID. And that's what I was just checking, that this publisher is still me, which it is. So Get 13 Chocolatey Azure DevOps is where we want to push to. So the question is, why is it not working? I would suspect that I would be able to do it from the website, but I don't necessarily want to do that because I want it to run from the command line. I want to know that it's going to work. Did I not have another window open? TFX token publish. Security personal action token marketplace publish. So that's the only thing it says to do. Expired token. So I don't think so, Kim. I mean, I've literally regenerated this morning and put it into AppVeyor, and I'm trying the same thing from the command line on my other screen, and I'm getting the same error locally using that token that I see in AppVeyor. So I don't think it's that. Oh, lots of translations going into Chocolatey Azure this evening. Thank you very much. I'm just going to read some personal access token. Let's try doing it directly. I'm going to say regenerate to that. Copy. Paste. 401. Right, and we could delete this token and create it again. Revoke. New token. TFX CLI. To. Now that's the thing. Do I need to do that? Did it say? We'll maybe come back to that one, Kim. I was just going to try one thing. Back to that. Set the scope. I wonder if it's this. All accessible organizations, custom defined. Let me do this, and we'll say show scopes. Marketplace, publish, create, copy that. Let's put this into here, paste that into there. And let's do this again. Paste. Oh, okay. So I think it works now. So where did the publish get to? So there's, it's not, is that the same documentation that I was reading? Publishing extension, Azure DevOps. Let's see if that's the same one that I was reading. So it's not very clear. You see it in the picture, but the wording isn't very clear. In the picture, the organization has been changed to be all accessible organizations, but in the text, it just says select your organization. Now, I'd left that as just my single organization, but in order for the TFX CLI to work seemingly, you have to select all accessible organizations. So I've just changed that, and I've tried running it from the command line here, and it's now got further. So what I want to do now is, I think I want to delete the tag and run the release again. So I'm going to make a couple of changes here. I'm going to change this. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back over to my issues. I'm going to look at my milestones. Open this guy up again. And the other things that were done shouldn't matter if it does them again. So it did that. Publish release notes. Close the issue. Oh, did it do the thing with the thing? Oh, did that part work? Where's the thing? Did it do it? 3 closed. No. I'm gonna try to do 1 open. This one. 5 closed. Oh, it did it. Dang it. Dang it. That's fine. It can add them again. That's okay. It worked though. So I'd added in the Git Release Manager functionality to update all the issues that had been done. Hold on, what now? Oh, it's just done the release. Oh, it was still running. I didn't think it was running. Oh my goodness. Has it actually published it? Oh, it has. Okay, fine. I want to close that milestone again. So it's done. It's done it. It's published it. So let's go ahead and close that milestone out again then. So let's go ahead and close this. I've lost the SHA. That's not a big deal. Back to my release, and let's add the v6 back on then. So we can add this. I didn't think it was running. I thought it had died, but that's okay. Okay, so the 030 release of the Chocolatey extension for Azure DevOps is there now, and it's a sham. Yeah, indeed. So if we go over to this and we refresh this and we see what we've got. So let's have a little looky, and I want to add a new task then. So if I search here for Chocolatey, so the question becomes, how do I know what? Let's get rid of this guy so that we're all on the same page. Remove selected tasks. I want to add a new one that is Chocolatey. That's the task, and it's saying it's installed. How do I know that I have the 030? Let's click on Get It Free and we'll make sure. This extension is already installed. Well, okay. Let's force it. Let's come out of here. And is it in here? It's been a while. Where do I see? Oh, I see it. Extensions. This one, 030. It's there. Okay. So it's there, and it's saying it's latest, and it was last updated today. So if we go back to here, thank you for that, Arthur. If I go back to here and go back into my pipelines, and I edit this guy. Then this is the task that is doing all the changes, but I want the other task that is the Chocolatey install task. There it is. Chocolatey tool. So this is the one that comes from David. So it comes as part of the Azure DevOps extension for Chocolatey. So this one will say my name on it, and this one will say David because his name is attributed to that one, and that's perfectly fine. So if I click add, we get this one. Let's go ahead and remove this one. I want to see if this works. So name is use Chocolatey, force install, control options enabled. What does this do? Set if you want to force installing. That's exactly what I want to do. Because Chocolatey is already going to be installed on the hosted agent that I'm running, but I want to force the installation. So I'm going to say save and queue this pipeline, and I'm going to say save and run. Sometimes it might not pick up the latest, even if it says, I've had to do that as well, Arthur. I've had to remove an extension from the organization and put it back in again for testing purposes. Yeah, I've definitely had to do that. So let's see what this does. Can you guys read that okay, or is that a bit small? I'm not sure if I can. Use Chocolatey from David Gardner, force option. Oh, look at that. It's doing stuff with the stuff. It's doing the stuff with the stuff. Thank you very much for the cheer, Maurice. What's it doing now? Was that cheer premature? Is it just stuck, or is it stuck? Let's give it a minute. That's taking longer than I would have expected it to. Command plus R. Let's click on something else to be sure. You've already had a minute. Indeed. So in this scenario, what I don't know is this expected or not? Should this what's going through my head is whether we're allowed to do things like this if we're running. Well, we must be running elevated, otherwise Chocolatey wouldn't be able to be used at all. I'm curious as to whether David tested this on. Well, let's do that. Possibly, yeah. That's maybe a good point. So let's give it a little while longer. And I had something else that I thought about there while I remembered about it. New issue. Allow installation URL for Chocolatey to be configurable. When installing Chocolatey. When installing, upgrading Chocolatey on Azure DevOps, you may have the package on an alternative feed. The installation URL for the install script should be allowed to be configurable. We'll say an improvement, and we'll submit that. Where did that pipeline go? Is that, no, it's still saying, that's still where it was before, isn't it? It's not moved. How long do we give it before we say didn't work? It's 5 minutes? 10 minutes? What's the correct 5 minutes? So if we get to 5, we should stop it then, right? So it's broken then, that's what we're saying. Let's go ahead and cancel that build then. And let's do one other test. We probably can. Whether that's passed into maybe. What I was gonna try though was if we go back into here and we say edit. What I was going to try was disable that one, back to here, and search for Chocolatey installer. Let's try David's one directly. Let's see if what he's brought in to this extension works. So let's go back to his extension directly and we'll force an installation of Chocolatey using his extension and see what it does. Close that out. We're back to here. Back to pipelines. Back to this one. Edit. So we know that this one's stalled, so we'll disable that one. Back to here. Search for Chocolatey. Oh, so then the question becomes which one's which. Because they both say by David Gardner. They've both got the same. Where does that take me? Runs the standard Chocolatey installer. Okay, fine. So this is David's one. So I'm going to say add this one. And I'm going to do a force. Control variables. Enabled. Okay. So I'm going to save and queue this one up. There is a diagnostics that we could add, but that won't pass through into the installer though. So I don't know if that, I don't think that would show us anything that we wouldn't otherwise see already in the output. So let's see if David's one works. And if not, we may have to, yeah, I don't know. May have to ask David about it. He's currently in Australia. He's likely not up yet. Let's have a look. What time is it in Australia? I know it's a big place. Let's just get a rough idea. It's 0600 somewhere. Yeah, he's not going to be up really, is he? I doubt he's going to be awake. But if this one gets to about 5 minutes as well, then we may have to shoot David an email and see how he was testing this out. And now this makes me hesitant to publish the 1.0 major version until we know that this is working as expected. So let's wait and see. Anybody got any questions while we're waiting, waiting the next 3 minutes for this to do something? Let's see how Manfred's getting on with the moderation queue. So it was, what was it at? It was at 51, 41? Seems to have gone up. How's the moderation queue going, Manfred? Oh, I don't know what to tell you then. Oh, are you working your way through the updated and responded ones as opposed to the submitted ones? And that's fine. That's fine. Oh no. In terms of what we're seeing here, Maurice, yes, no, absolutely. I'm expecting that to be part of the official installation script. Is we're seeing the output there. What I'm curious about is I'm curious about whether it's just a timing thing. If we were to leave it for a period of time, would it work? Or if I suspect what David's doing, if he's installing Chocolatey afresh onto a new box that he's running, not one of the hosted ones, whether it works there. Now, I don't have a non-hosted build agent to test this on. But I'm also going to try it without the force option to see what that does as well. I suspect that will just flow through, but that also doesn't help. So dash verbose. Where would you want me to put that verbose? What are you expecting to see in the? I mean, I'm willing to try it, but where would you want me to put that dash verbose, Manfred? Close. Close. Right, I'm gonna call this because it's taking too long. I'm gonna cancel this again. If we go back to edit pipeline and we look at the use on install. So I don't have a mechanism to put the dash verbose directly onto the calls that are being made. If I take this off, let's see where does that take us? Out in curiosity. Right. Let's see what this does. Save and queue. I'm getting emails about my failed build. Advanced options, demands. I mean, I can put on system diagnostics, but I don't know if that will help. Let's try it. See if we see any additional output. Could you add a step that runs Chocolist local only? I could. I can do that. So that did something. So what did it do? Choco is already installed. Beautiful. Just worked. I can certainly do that if that's what we want to do. We can do that. So we could go back to here and we could say edit pipeline. And we could say add Choco, this one. Put this up above. We want to do a Choco custom list local only. Let's do list -lo, save and queue. Indeed, it's already gone. It's shipped. This is us testing. This is testing it. This is us testing in production. The ship has indeed sailed. Why did that not work? Well, that's not good. Well, that's not good at all. That feels related to the change that I saw that had went in there that I'd forgotten about. So oh yeah, that doesn't feel good at all. What would you change in here? System collection. That feels a little bit problematic. Copy. I took it for granted that Stevie's change there would work, but that looks like it doesn't. So, unable to find system collections generic list. If someone wants to point out why that's not working, then I am all ears. Unable to find type system.collections.generic.list. Missing the generic type, as in of. You're right. And this will indeed be a V3031. So we want I'm tempted to revert this change. The whole reason that this came about was that Stevie was suggesting that we remove the costly call to new object, but that everything I'm reading over here suggests in order to create a generic list of string, you need to call a new object. So what do we suggest here then, folks? Do we revert back to using an array list, or do we do something different? Because this is currently broken everything. Shout out to Maurice for suggesting we do a choco list local only. Stevie's not in the room, I don't think, no. I'm tempted to say that we're going to revert as well, Manfred. Sorry, Maurice. I'm going to say new issue. Pipelines. If nothing else, we'll get to test out the publishing. Indeed. Fix generic list error introduced in 0.3.0 with the release of 0.3.0 we have introduced a bug which results in this being output. This is as a result of this change. Suspect we are simply going to revert the change for now. Basic CI unit testing would be nice indeed. Slight issue with that though, Manfred, is that some of the PowerShell script relies on VSTS being in play. So kind of need the bits there in order for the script to work in its entirety. So it would be lovely, but it's not something that we can do easily that I'm aware of. So we're testing in production for now. Check out develop. Now, did I complete that develop? We did the master branch, so we've still got the release branch. Git checkout, develop, git merge. This should be a no-op of the release branch. There should be nothing for it to go in. Git branch minus D release. Git checkout master. Git checkout minus B hotfix 031 from master. And then if we go back into code and we have a look at which file was it? No, yeah, I never noticed that you were gone either. It's not an easy thing to keep an eye on. I'm glad that you're back though. So this is in the Chocolatey PS1. So in the tasks, Chocolatey PS1 and online 22 or thereabouts. I'm going to put that back in. And I'm going to say that this is issue 57, revert change to generic list. This is causing build failures, and for now, simply revert back to previous usage of array list. So so that seems to do something. Okay, so how do I undo? Edit, undo, edit, undo. So I'm putting string in here. Is that what you want? Should that be a string or string? And doesn't mess with Stevie's change. So what we're doing? Am I reverting it for now? In fact, I'm going to revert it. I think I still got it on my clipboard. Yes, I'm reverting for now, right? So if we want to change it to use a generic, then we can. I just assumed that Stevie's change was a valid one. Let's go back because we know it works. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and say yes to that. I'm going to go up to my issue and I'm going to say closed, get status. I'm going to build that to prove to myself that it's still working. Assumption is the mother of all, indeed. Indeed. Won't be doing that again. So if nothing else, we will be testing the publishing cycle. So so we do build, target, release notes. That should give me a new 030 release. Which is what? Which is there. So if we do this, we've got a 031 release. So git checkout master, git merge no ff from the release, from the hotfix branch even, git push upstream, git push origin, hope the build works now indeed, git checkout develop, git merge no ff with the hotfix branch, and then back to Snapware. So you can go away, you can go away. All this works. We're going to click a button here and everything's going to work. Okay, let's do it. Publish. Let's do it. Do it, do it, do it. Do it, do it, do it. It's building. Is it going to work? Let's find out. It's publishing. What? Why did that not work? Why did that not work? Why did that not work? Debating whether I've saved this page now or not that I'm looking at. How can I verify that? This was meant to be so much easier. Over here, over here. Over here. Over here. Okay, so that's why. I hadn't hit save on the page that I had open in AppVeyor. So that explains that. So now what I need to remember is git delete tag remote. I never remember how to do this. Empty reference to a remote tag. Git push dash dash delete upstream 0.3.1. Did it work? It did. Okay. So back to here, back to here, back to here, back to here. Reopen this. So the issue's gonna have the comment in it, but that's fine. I can delete it though. And we deleted the tag. The release, we need to tidy up the release a little bit. So this here, let's delete this and delete this. Publish it. All of that's good to go. Let's try this one more time. Releases. Edit. Why is that tag still there? That should have got rid of it. Oh, because I put it back on again. Does that mean it's building? Oh, Mother Hubbard. Cancel that build. Right, let's do it one more time. So if I go to releases now, it shouldn't be there. Make sure we're back in the same place. I think we are. There we go. Edit. Publish. Right. This time. This time. It's all good. It's all good. Right. I've republished the tag. It's re-triggered up there. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Maurice, your comment about cake-VS Code, what was... Where were you seeing that? Oh, have I got a typo? Cake-VS Code. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you're right. That's a bug. You fancy raising an issue about that, Maurice, and we can fix it? That would be great. Thank you very much. Executing extension, publishing extension. There we go. That's better. Right. You can say no, but then you have to rely on me remembering to do it, which, let's be honest. So it's now publishing. And in theory, we should get a new one. It isn't. It's an offer you can't refuse. Dun, dun, dun. I'm not sure if I like having my AirPods on a stream. They keep falling out. I maybe need to change the insert. Out of tape. No. Well, like sellotape. Not sure that's a good idea. Not sure that's a good idea. So it's currently verifying the publish duct tape. It's thinking. Do, 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 do. It's taking a long time. I think it's doing what it's meant to be doing. It doesn't really give me much information, but it's currently saying within the manage publishers and extensions window, it's currently saying verifying, and it's just changed. So I'm waiting for this screen to update now, because it's, there we go. Okay. Beautiful. Tear down. Did that send? And it just sent a tweet out as well. Look at that. So did it go to Gitter? So I've just seen a tweet come out that is from me saying that the extension's been published, and it's also posted. So does the Gitter message make sense, Kim? Chocolatey Azure DevOps extension has just been released. Chocolatey NuGet, Azure DevOps, Azure. Full release notes available here. look at that. Oh, I've broken. That doesn't look right though, does it? I'm going to have to edit that. What's that meant to look like? github.com/git-tools/git version. Let's make this look right before we do anything else. Edit. We need to grab this. Need to do this. Oh, I see the problem. There we go. Preview. That's better. Update release. Okay. Kim's saying it was in Gitter. Sure, I would say any messages related to Chocolate community repo makes sense in that channel. Cool. Good. I meant the wording of the message. Did it actually take us to where it was meant to go? Let's have a look. All version blah blah blah. That link's there. Full release notes there. So there's the extension. Okay, cool. So they work. So if we go back up to the top of my organization and we look here and we look at extensions, then we have this one installed, which is 031, so it's been updated. So if we go back to here and we go back into Chocolatey test and we go into pipelines and we go into here and we say edit, then we should still have Chocolate local only, and so if we go back one and say run pipeline, go catch it. PR, Maurice is saying he's done a PR, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Click on the agent job. And see if this works. This seems to be doing something. He says. Let's have some of these while we're waiting. Why is that taking so long? What's it doing? How long does a chocolate list? How long will it normally take? Doesn't take that long. Just looking at the PR. Oh dear. So you get to hear my voice again 15 seconds in the past. You are a very lucky person. Seriously, what's going on there though? What is going on? I'm really starting to get concerned now. No, not what we wanted. Edit pipeline. It looks like we had the same idea, Maurice. I was already thinking about just running it directly. Because I'm a little bit concerned now. See, even that's taking longer than I would have expected. Could be. Let me just think of something else. Cancel this one more time. Maybe. But I would have expected to have heard from lots of people that that was a problem. Let me try with Windows 2019. See if that makes any difference. What's Manfred sending me? Manfred just sent me a message. Oh, it's working there. It took a while, but it's working there. So PowerShell script. So out of interest, how many packages are there? There are 49 packages installed on the Azure Pipelines hosted base image. But that's not what we're here to prove. Yeah, but we waited at least a couple of minutes in the last run. So let's do the same thing again. Let's edit this guy. And we'll go back to the task. And we'll say Choco. And we'll disable this guy. Into here, and we're going to say custom list -lo. I mean, I can do debugging things and stuff in this one, but we'll come back to that if we need it. I'm saying, I wonder if everything is actually running. So let's go back to, where's that 2017 coming from? I don't see it in the drop-down list. But let's go back to this one. And if this works, I'm tempted to do the force again on this machine and see if that works. So it took a minute and 1 second before. I mean, that is slow. We would want it to be quicker than that, ideally, but we've at least got a time frame for when it should appear here. $40 seconds. 50. Boom. Go. Very confused. I'm very confused. I think we've broken something. I think we might have broken something. Let's do one more change, one more test. And then I'm all out of ideas after then. Edit pipeline. Let's turn on all of these things. Show debug. Let's just do them all. Let's see what this shows us. It's removing all pending packages that should not be considered installed. That feels like there's something on the base image that... Why is it stuck there? So I'm going to grab a wee screenshot of this so that I can speak to some people about it. And let's just wait and see then. Can you... not right now. I could though. What is going on with this camera? It's making me all fuzzy and stuff. I was reading something about this. Properties. Cancel. The camera's drunk, indeed. Doesn't really give me an option to... It's doing some sort of crazy auto-focusing, but I don't know how to turn that off. Job for a different day. Why is this taking so long? Oh, there it goes. Interesting. So it is running, and it is doing stuff. It's just incredibly slow because of this operation here. Huh. So I wonder if that was something similar with the install. But now that we know that's working, let's do one other test, which is the install on a machine, on the 2019 machine. So let's go and add that job back in again, which we said was going to be this one. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add that, and I'm going to do a force installation. I'm going to save and queue that onto the 2019. I'm going to save and run that. And while we are here, I'm going to say that that looks good to me. And for now, I'm going to say that that was going into develop. I should have checked that before. I'm going to say relates to 58, I think. Just so that we've got a link. And for now, we'll call this the 0.4.0 release, but that may well change to be the 1.0.0. Can I assign release to this? Kevin R. There we go. Beautiful. Thank you for doing that, Maurice. Appreciate that. And see what this is getting to. Still stuck at that point, but let's give it a couple minutes. And while we're here, should close that one while we're there. Oh, Maurice just closed it. So, nimble fingers. This one and this one we will assign to this one. But if we do that, we should change it to, we'll change it. Let's change the name of this to be 1.0.0. I mean, technically it's a bug. It's a bug in the build script, but no, you're right. Let's do this then. Yeah, good point. Let's change that over. Yeah, you see this one. Let me write a wee note to let's do a quote retweet of this. Let's do retweet with comment. FL David, quick question regarding the below. On the stream last night, we were trying to exercise the new install task, and when ran with the force option, it seemed to get stuck when running on hosted Azure pipelines. Pipelines agent. Is this something you ran into? Question mark. Tweet. Okay. So nothing's changed. Well, we haven't got to the 5-minute mark, but no, you're right. Yes, no, absolutely, Kim. You're right. So I agree. We'll change it over. I'm going to let this run until I'm going to get ready to close out the stream, which is going to be sorry, I got distracted there. Kim, are you playing with the... I don't know how you say the... I don't know how you say it, how you pronounce it, but let me... Avidimux. Avidimux? Are you pushing a new version of that? Oh no, that was Manfred reviewing it. Yeah, Manfred, if you follow up to the... Let me grab your link. Chocolatey community. The installer silent installation arguments that are passed to that package aren't working. So if you have a look at this issue, I'm sending it to you just now, then the installation gets hung up. It doesn't get past a window. So without a change to the installation script, that package isn't going to go any further. So bumping the verification test isn't going to help. Which is unfortunate. So I don't have the bandwidth to fix it myself, unfortunately. But if you are in the mood for fixing that, then go for it. I would be grateful to you. Okay. What I was saying over here was I was going to wait until the end of the stream to see if it kind of catches up. But I'm going to grab a screenshot of this as well before I go away, so I can send this to David. So I have that, and then that's it. But so, oh, look at that! Just as I said, look at that. It worked. So it took 6 minutes 49 to do a forced installation of Chocolatey, which is not great. Well, I hope you have a good time, Kim. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have a good time. And on that note, I should probably show this. Manfred, while Manfred was meant to be doing the moderation queue, he has been creating memes of me. And I have nothing to say about it. I can't even argue with it. In this case, it is absolutely true. So, renovating a house several hours away from me, I doubt we'll have a good time. Sounds like fun though. Sounds like fun. You also did work in the mortgage, and I know you did. I know you did, Manfred, and I do appreciate it. I just thought I would share your handiwork with the the rest of the team. Okay, so on that note, I am going to say good night. Don't have any immediate plans for what to work on next on the stream. Part of me feels I kind of need to go back to Cake Contrib and updating some of the add-ins to the latest version of Cake. The reason for that being that sometime in the near future, we will be pushing out a 1.0.0 release of Cake. And I want to have more of the add-ins in a position where they can be easily updated. So part of me feels I will be moving to that. And Chocolatey GUI does have some work to be done to it. I'm holding off on that for other reasons, Maurice. Can't really talk about them, but there are other reasons to hold off on Chocolatey GUI at the minute. So I haven't forgotten about it. I will circle back to it. But I think in this time slot, I think I'll be doing some Cake Contrib stuff. But don't know. We'll see. Might change my mind and do something else. If there's anything you feel that needs worked on, we still need to get back to the Chocolatey language server at some point. So much to do. Yeah, don't know. But for now, I'm going to draw this to a close. So thank you all for coming, and I will talk to you all on the interwebs. Have a good night. Bye-bye.